you know you don't have the environment that you need to go ahead and be successful. You know that's true, right? If you had the environment to be successful, you wouldn't have clicked on this video in the first place, right? Why environment is so important for your success. Right? I want to talk in this video simply about what I've done to be able to change my environment, right? The detrimental effects it had in the past and the kind of boosting, right, effects it has now, and what I went ahead and did to change my environment, to find my mentors, to make new friends, right? And what you can actually do to go ahead and change your environment, which will go ahead and change your habits and the rest of your life, right? So I want to tell a quick story. I remember just growing up, being in high school, just, being in middle school, even elementary school before, I was always that kid who didn't really care that much. I wanted to play soccer, I wanted to have fun, I wanted to joke around, and that's the attitude I always had. Like kids would be doing homework, kids would be doing studying for tests, whatever. And that wasn't me, right? And for me, that means I kind of attracted similar kind of guys. And the guys I was friends with, they were also kind of like that. And I can tell you this much: it didn't reinforce anything in me. But it's not like I have regrets. The point is that instantly, from a very young age, I went ahead and I attracted the kinds of people who were like me, right? So there's a little hint right there. You attract what you are, right? So I grew up, I was in high school, I started to change my environment, I changed as a person more. And my goals changed. Like where I wanted to get to in life changed a lot. I didn't want to be in the same spot. I knew I had big goals, big dreams, wanted to make money, wanted to be successful. So I realized that how am I going to go ahead and get somebody to go ahead and help me? And how am I going to have an environment of others who can go ahead and change my beliefs? Right, there's two aspects to this. One, you want to go ahead and leave, right, negative environments. You want to go ahead and leave distractions. You want to go ahead and get away from people who take away from your energy, from your inspiration, your creativity, from everything that goes ahead and makes you better, right? I'm telling you right now to keep it as simple as possible. That friend that always says, let's go smoke some weed, let's go to the party, let's go hook up with those girls, let's go on a two-man, all this BS, all this bullshit, frankly, I want you to stay away from that, right? I'm just being practical with you right now, right? Kind of like an older brother. That is what you want to stay away from. Because if you do it enough, you wake up in the morning and you know you shouldn't have done that, right? But it was because of your friend initiating that you did it, right? Or you have those friends around you and you initiate it because you know it's fun and you have that, momentary pleasure. So you want to get away from those distractions, those detrimental people, but you also want to seek out the right people who you aspire to be like. You are the sum total of the 5 people you hang around with. Michael, how do I actually go ahead and I find those kinds of people? Well, to continue my story, I was in high school and I knew that after high school I'd be away from my friends and I wouldn't be near people, and I was kind of by myself, and that's what happened, right? I started construction, I was in the trades, and pretty much from June all the way up until June the year after, 2023, even further along till the start of this year, I'm lying. It was from June 2022 all the way up until January 2024. I was by myself. I was on construction sites, January, February, March this year, actually. I was on construction sites with guys that were 2 times, 3 times my age pretty much, that didn't want to be there, that had nothing in common, that I was forcing myself to be friends with, right, because of my environment. And what I'd started to do was I realized the one thing I have is the internet. I have the online environment. I have people online who I can surround myself with because I always played video games. So instead of playing video games, I naturally phased out of it. I didn't want to keep doing it. I started to talk to the people who were making money online. So pretty much right after I got into construction, it was September 2022 that I got into drop shipping. And I had done it with my friend for about 4 to 5 months. We both together invested close to $2,000. Right, we had made close to 500 in sales, and then by myself later on, I made about 300 in sales. In profit, we maybe made a total of 300-400. So we were not profitable, we were not successful, but that is when I first learned the value of seeking out environment, right? And I was on Discord and I was talking to other nobodies, but I was learning and I was already getting excited because these people had the same goals as me. But one more thing I started to do was I realized, look, if I'm going to go ahead and surround myself with people that are better than me, how do I benefit them? If they're benefiting me, well, isn't there supposed to be some kind of mutual, relationship, right? Some kind of co-beneficiary, type of thing going on. And I realized I had no skills. I had nothing to give them. And that's when I learned about mentors. That's when I learned about mentorship. So I decided for a couple of months to go out on my own and try personal branding on Twitter. And I did that. I wasn't successful and I wasn't passionate. I started my TikTok talking about trades. And I had no real passion for it. And I was looking for a mentor because I knew I needed one, but my heart was never in the right place because I didn't have passion for it. And I didn't know who to trust, right? But the truth is that there's two things you can do to go ahead and find that mentor and find that person who's going to put you on the right path because they've already walked down it. There's money and there's skill, right? When you don't have any skill whatsoever, which is the majority of the people watching this video, I'll be real with you, right? This is a bitter pill to swallow, but that money you're spending on Jays, on new clothes, on that girl, it should be spent into a mentorship. Because the only thing a guy that's making millions of dollars or hundreds of thousands of dollars can get of value from you is money, right? And it's a fair trade at the end of the day. You're getting valuable information that took hours and thousands of hours and weeks and months to acquire for a couple bucks, right? You worked at McDonald's for it. It's a pretty good trade. But the other trade is skill. If you're a guy that is incredibly disciplined and you know for a fact that you can get really skilled at whatever you put your mind to, decide today you're going to get good at sales, at copywriting, public speaking, marketing, doing some kind of branding online. Any of those things will go ahead and pay you tremendously. Email marketing as well. That's a part of copywriting, right? If you go ahead and get good at these things, you go on LinkedIn, you go on Instagram, you find these coaches, these pros in the industries you want to be in, and you will go ahead and do this stuff for free for them. And it will reward you, right? Because you'll have a portfolio of 1, 2, 3, 4 people who have used your free stuff to have got them success, right? And this means you'll eventually be able to charge a retainer and start an agency. And now you can get mentors, right? Paying you, and now you have relationships. What I ended up doing is I invested in a mentorship, right? These sales guys at Millionaire Closers, Dylan, Misha, I give a lot of thanks to Rome, Dimitri, Ramsey, even meeting Michael afterwards. All these different guys, Aman, of course, really changed my life because I had started to come into the office here, and I'd started to surround myself online with other guys that were learning, and my mentors were all in places where I wanted to be, right? And little by little, I started to change. My opinions on things started to change. My value of money started to change. My work ethic started to change, and my standards for work went up here, right? I'd never done a 12-hour day. Now I do it every day in sales, right? And that's why I'm able to earn the money I do and develop the skills that I do, right? These guys, I imagine maybe they'd be so materialistic and worried about money, this and that. They care about experiences more than anything, and that's rubbed off on me too, right? The truth is that, look, if you want to reach your goals, if you want to go ahead and be as successful as you want to be, you have to look at the people who are already there. Who did they surround themselves with, and how do you get in their circle? Right? That is truly what is going to go ahead and change your life. There have been days where I know we've had Francesca, we've had Ryan, we've had several other guys who have come to the office, and days after being in the office and just being surrounded by the energy of other sales guys, they're going ahead and closing, at like a 10, 20, 30% higher close rate for a couple of days or for a week or two. Sometimes it stays forever. It's because that energy rubs off when you don't feel like dialing anymore, when you feel like quitting. You got the other guy yelling at you, bro, keep on dialing. And that's what Francesca and I'd always do, even with Ryan. We'd be out here 10 p.m., right, late at night, finish off some sales calls, and we'd go and get a burger, maybe have a dart, and wrap up the night. And we did this over and over. And the next thing you know, 6 a.m., we're in the gym all together. And I didn't feel like going, but I know they did. And some days they didn't feel like going, but I did. And this is what environment really does. It creates this brotherhood. It's like you're going to war. It's like you're all going towards a goal together. So find the guys that have the same goals as you or similar ones. Find a way to be in proximity to them, even if it's online, right? What you're doing right now is an amazing thing. You're kind of in proximity with me. Or you can always reach out on Instagram and find the other guys in the comments. That's what I'd be doing if I was you, by the way. Find the other guys in the comments. So for you, I got cut off there because of FaceTime photo booth being weird. But the main takeaway should be that I want you to go ahead and decide today, make a conscious decision that you're going to change your environment because your goals are important to you, right? Once you go ahead and you make that decision, you ask yourself, who do I no longer want to be around? Who brings my energy down? Who takes my motivation down? Who tells me maybe something isn't possible? When I share my dreams, they tell me I'd be more realistic, right? When I talk about all the things I want to do, they tell me don't go ahead and do that. That's stupid, right? Who are the people that are keeping me away from my goals, and decide how am I going to slowly remove them? How am I going to distance myself from those people? Doesn't mean you got to cut them out completely, right? But how do I go ahead and make some space and allow them to come to me if they want, right? But I'm not going to force anything. And then how do you go ahead and start to attract those people? Ask yourself today, how am I going to find the money to be able to invest in mentorships and be around the people who I want to be? Or how do I develop the skills so that naturally speaking, I can be around the people that I want to be and I can even earn money for it eventually and develop those relationships that'll benefit everyone, right? It all comes down to that conscious decision, deciding who you're going to get away from and who you're going to be nearby and how you're going to get there. I promise you right now, there's no better feeling than being surrounded by some guys, sometimes girls, mostly guys, that just fire you up. And on days where you don't feel like doing anything, and on days where you're demotivated, where you're pissed off, you're stressed, they make it all worth it. That is truly what environment is all about. And I can attribute all of my recent success to my environment. Did I work hard? Did I grind? Did I put in hours I never thought I would? Did I study when I didn't want to? Right? Did I do work more than the average person? Sure. But why was I able to get here? Because of the opportunities given to me by my environment that I sought out. Right? I remember the first day I saw Misha's, TikTok, I DM'd him. I said, I'm going to go do marketing for free for this guy, and he'll teach me sales. Well, that didn't end up happening. I invested into a mentorship, and thank God I did, because I have earned back my mentorship many, 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 many times over. Right? That has paid for itself many times over, and not just in money. Sure, I've made that money back so many times, but I've also learned so much along the way. I've had such great experience. I've had dinners with these guys that I would not be able to pay for with a monthly paycheck, pretty much. But they have been able to treat me really well. Right? I want you guys to seek out those individuals, the people who will put you first and who will tell you what you need to hear. And that's another thing I appreciate when it comes to my environment, my mentors, my friends, the people I have around me. They don't always tell me what I want to hear. They don't give me that bullshit. They tell me what I need to hear. And sometimes it stings and it hurts and it's brutal, but that is what makes a difference. All right, guys, I genuinely hope that this video added some value to your life. And I truly spoke from the heart about the importance of environment and mentorship in my life. And if you guys took anything away from it, definitely like the video. It helps me out a lot. Right? Subscribe, because you'll be able to see more of these videos. And I'd say even comment, right? If you got questions for me or you wanted to mention something, maybe even, recommend another video that I make, feel free to do so. Right? You can always DM me and ask me a couple questions on Instagram, and make sure you follow me there, as well as TikTok, right? I'm growing my page and make videos like this, but much shorter form, on the daily, right? So make sure to follow me there. I really like engaging with you guys. I really hope this helps you out. And otherwise, guys, thanks for watching again. Have a great night, and catch you on the next one. Peace.